What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are enjoying the cold weather, the snow. I know I'm not, but hopefully you haven't listened to too much Christmas music already. In my opinion, can't listen to Christmas music till after Thanksgiving, but you know, it's whatever. Some people don't care about that rule. It's fine. Anyways, today I just have a little devotional thought. Oh, that was weird. A little devotional thought that I want to share with you guys. And just a real short verse, but I think it's a very impactful one. And so it's John chapter 10, verses 27. And Jesus says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me." That's it. So Jesus is just talking about how he is the shepherd and how we are his sheep. And he says, "My sheep know my voice, and they follow me." And he knows his sheep. But kind of the thing that really stuck out to me about this, and the reason why I just wanted to talk about this is, especially today, I feel like there's just so many voices in our lives, so many things trying to pull at our attention, so much information flying in and out, just all over the place, whether it's politics or entertainment, social media, our friends, family, our jobs. There's so many voices in our lives, so many things pulling at our attention. And honestly, it just gets confusing sometimes, and it can be kind of almost like disorienting, you know, just with how many voices are in our lives. We get information overload, kind of almost attention overload. You know, there's just so much coming at us all at once. It's like we just get confused. I know sometimes I feel like that. It's like there's so many things happening all at once, I just don't know what to do, so then I don't do anything at all, because I don't know, you know, what voice do I listen to? Who should I be listening to? Who should I not be? Yada, 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 all this. But with this verse, just reminding me that Jesus is my shepherd, that Jesus is our shepherd. We are his sheep. And the reason why this is so significant, why this example of just shepherd and sheep is so significant is, I mean, one, during this time when the Bible was written, a shepherd was a very common job. It was something people were very familiar with then. But one thing with shepherds is that sheep know specifically the voice of their shepherd. And so there's like videos of this even, one that I just watched the other day. But there'll be a whole herd of sheep, and multiple people will go up and try calling them over, using the same call that the shepherd would use. And so they'll be yelling and screaming and hollering at the sheep, and the sheep just don't pay a single bit of attention. They just keep on minding their own business. And like one after another person tries it, the sheep just don't care. But then the shepherd comes and does his call, and instantly, just like that, the sheep are like, "Oh, all right, time to go." And they all waddle over to the shepherd. And it's actually kind of cool, pretty crazy to watch. But in the same way, we need to recognize the voice of Jesus in our lives, the voice of God in our lives, just like that, where there could be every voice imaginable flying at us, people telling us to go this way and that way, all the noise possible in our lives. But we don't have to move until we hear the voice of the shepherd. Just because we have all these other voices in our lives does not mean that we have to pay attention to them, or does not mean that they have to influence us. There's really only one voice we need to actually be concerned with, and that is the voice of God in our lives. That is the voice of God speaking to us through his word, and just the influence of God through being in relationship with him, through spending time with him. We don't have to figure out what voice do I need to follow, which voice do I not. All we have to do is just listen for the voice of the shepherd, and we'll know exactly where we need to go, because his voice will not lead us astray in our lives. And so, yeah, ultimately, it doesn't matter how much noise is in our lives, as long as we listen for the voice of the shepherd, as long as we are not influenced by that noise in our lives. And so it just kind of simplifies just navigating the clutter of life and the different voices in our lives, is simply just listen for the voice of the shepherd in your life. But part of getting to know that voice is by spending time around the shepherd. The reason why the sheep are able to recognize the voice of their shepherd is because they spend time with him day after day. They spend time being trained to hear his voice and then to respond just like that. So in the same way, we need to spend time with the Father. We need to spend time in the Word. We need to spend time with God, training ourselves to hear his voice so that when he does speak, we respond just like that. We move in an instant out of obedience to his voice. And that way we don't have to know whether the voices we're hearing is God's or not, because by spending time around him, by being trained to hear the voice of the shepherd, we'll know instantly whether it's his voice or not. We'll know instantly whether we need to respond to what we're hearing, we need to be influenced by what we're hearing, or if we don't. So let's listen for the voice of the shepherd in our lives this week. Listen for God's voice. Spend time in his word. Let that be what causes you to move. Let that be what influences you this week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.